How's it going, everybody? Welcome back. This is kind of a standalone video. It is not Yankees related, but there's no baseball happening at the moment, so I thought I would share with you something that I found interesting. I've been using a lot of my time lately to learn about artificial intelligence and have been experimenting with AI-generated imagery. One thing that I asked AI to do was to imagine different types of futuristic baseball stadiums. Now, because it's still learning and not quite ready to take over the world and enslave the entire human race yet, not everything is going to be perfect. Some of the fields might not look like traditional baseball fields, but more like futuristic soccer pitches. So I ask you to please suspend your disbelief and enjoy these 10 futuristic baseball stadiums that AI has created. I hope you find them as interesting and creative as I did. So go ahead and let me know in the comments which of these stadiums are your favorite, which ones you didn't really care for, and where you would like to imagine some more futuristic stadiums, if there's a part 2. All right, let's start with the Mars ballpark. This ballpark is obviously going to be difficult to play in because humans can't breathe. You're going to need some kind of a glass dome that covers the entire city because there's no dome here covering the stadium. No word on whether or not this is from Jason Dominguez's hometown. Rocky, you can't go fight the Russian on Mars. There's no oxygen. There's no oxygen for him neither. Well, hey, look, this is a pretty cool stadium. It's got the classic, looks like 3-level structure. You got the upper deck, 2 lower decks. Does not look like there is any kind of parking. So let's hope people on Mars have, some kind of a subway system. All right, we got another ballpark here. Now you can see that this one does have a dome, so breathing, of course, should not be an issue. One thing to keep in mind, though, is that the Martian gravity is less than here on Earth, so you're gonna need a big outfield. You're gonna need some fast runners to cover that distance. Although, assuming they're not wearing some kind of a gravity boot, the home run robbing should be better because the outfielders will be able to jump higher. All right, I also asked AI to imagine some ballparks in Puerto Rico. Now, this one is interesting because it's got that beachfront location. So if I were designing this ballpark, I would probably put some kind of an opening in the outfield and have the outfield facing the water so that you get a nice ocean view every time you come up to the plate. Or if you're sitting behind home plate especially, that would be an unbelievable view. But here, they're not taking the human enjoyment factor into consideration. Stupid artificial robots. Doesn't look like there's a lot of parking either, but there is this interesting track feature that they have going around the stadium. All right, we got another one for Puerto Rico here. This is another beachfront view. Looks like there's a lot more parking here. I do enjoy the patches of grass around the stadium. I think the panels that you see around the upper half of the outside of the stadium are likely windows, which would show off that ocean view if you're walking around on the concourse or buying a hot dog. I do, again, wish that you had a better view of the ocean from home plate or from the seats behind home plate, although home plate isn't visible here. I suppose you really could put it anywhere and the view would be the same. Does look like it has a retractable roof of some kind, so another interesting creation. All right, for this one, I told AI to imagine a ballpark in Las Vegas, futuristic Las Vegas. Now, it didn't light up all the Vegas buildings and things like that. It didn't create an accurate model, but you can kind of see a strip there. And this is a very futuristic looking ballpark. Looks like a UFO kind of set down in the desert, and it's got that neon glow. I like this one. I would definitely go watch a game there. You got to imagine that there's tons of entertainment, restaurants, and stuff built into that lower bowl. Again, doesn't look like there's a lot of parking, but this looks like a cool place to take in a baseball game. All right, this one is my favorite. This is a moon ballpark. I love the entrance right here. Now, you see the people going in, and this looks like it's kind of a small stadium, honestly. Maybe even Little League ballpark sized or, even like a big department store, honestly. But it's on the moon. It has the moon design on the outer part of the stadium. It's got kind of a nice little glow. And again, it's a small ballpark, so you have to imagine that gravity is going to be an issue. The moon has approximately 1/6 of the gravity of Earth, which means that those baseballs are going to go a lot further. So you need a bigger ballpark. But I think this is a cool design. All right, we got another moon design here. Now, this one is odd because there's no place for anyone to sit. There's this weird little miniature moon outside of the stadium. There's no grass, but I told it to imagine a baseball stadium on the moon, and this is what it came up with. Kind of an interesting design. Definitely looks isolated, although this one definitely looks bigger than the last. All right, this is one of my favorites too. I told AI to imagine a solar-powered ballpark in the heart of New York City. And you can see the giant solar panels. You can see the strange spheres. This one really feels like a cathedral. I love the aerial view. You get the urban New York City environment, and the people look like ants. So this one is definitely at the scale of a baseball stadium that you would expect. And I'm just thinking that I would love to watch a baseball game there or play some MLB The Show in a stadium like this. By the way, MLB The Show, if they could ever figure out a way to work in some of these AI-generated kind of features, that would make for some awesome stadiums. But yeah, this is definitely one of my favorites. This is another futuristic ballpark. You can see the solar panels for the power of the stadium. You see that strange kind of dome feature at the back with the open panels. You would think people can stand up there for, I don't know, social media, photo opportunities and whatnot. Again, this is one of those ones where AI doesn't know what the lines on a baseball field look like, and it's pretty deep to center field, but this is a fun little stadium. And finally, I told AI to imagine a post-apocalyptic ballpark, the last ballpark on Earth. I don't know what led to the downfall of humanity. Maybe it was AI, but this stadium is barely hanging on. But I just think it's a really cool picture. Just the way that, you know, it looks worn and old and partially destroyed by some calamity. Lights are still working though. But all right, guys, I hope you enjoyed this, step outside of the norm. And let me know if you want to see more AI ballparks. Maybe we'll do a round 2.